Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here today. As someone who literally loves nothing more than documenting local stories and just diving deep into our world's fascinating heritage, I couldn't be more excited for today's journey. We're going to explore this massive, incredibly ambitious undertaking by the Ministry of Culture to document the entire story of Indian heritage. And look, we aren't just talking about a few dusty books in a basement here. We're talking about capturing a vibrant, living story spanning millennia and translating it into a format that's going to last forever. It's an extraordinary effort to map out the soul of a nation, and we're going to unpack exactly how they're doing it.
Think of today's explainer kind of like a visual classroom lesson. Our roadmap is pretty straightforward. We'll start with the roots of Indian culture, look at the global cultural impact, dive into a land of diversity, see how they're categorizing the heritage, and finish up with preserving rare digital archives. Let's jump right in.
Starting us off, we have the roots of Indian culture. So, Indian culture is definitely not just a single moment in time or a passing trend, right? It's a millennia-old evolution. Going by the ministry's archives, this epic story actually kicks off in the ancient era with the Indus Valley civilization. That ancient foundation then flows through several millennia of historical influence, constantly absorbing and evolving, all the way up to our modern era of cultural preservation. The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that the ancient Indus Valley civilization didn't just up and disappear. Its foundational concepts literally actively shape the modern cultural values that the government is working so hard to protect right now.
Now let's step out of the history books for a second. Just picture India in your mind's eye. The Ministry of Culture points out that when you think of India, you don't just think of ancient ruins. You picture vibrant colors, smiling children running in the streets, local bangle vendors, and those massive, incredible religious festivals. Think of the rich smells of regional street food, like spicy vada pav in the west or crisp dosas down south. This right here is the living, breathing heart of the heritage. It's a story told through daily life, through the specific spices in that street food, and the distinct rhythms of local festivals. That incredible energy is exactly what makes this preservation effort so vital.
Moving on to our second point, the global cultural impact. Because, let's be real, this culture does not exist in a vacuum. The ministry highlights a really profound global impact across art, cuisine, religion, literature, education, heritage, and clothing. As a cultural explorer myself, I just find it so fascinating how Indian heritage specifically influences global menus and bookshelves. Ancient storytelling traditions and complex spice blends have seamlessly woven themselves into societies all over the world. I mean, just look at how the British adopted and adapted curries into an absolute national staple. It's a timeless trend that has genuinely shaped how the whole world eats, thinks, and reads.
Which brings us to Section 3, a land of diversity.
There's this great quote from the ministry: India thrives on a variety of languages, religions, and cultures due to the diverse race of people living in the country. And that honestly hits the nail on the head. It perfectly encapsulates why India is widely considered one of the world's most culturally enriched countries. It's not a monolith at all. It's this intricate, beautiful mosaic of different languages, unique belief systems, and diverse peoples, all sharing the exact same geographic space.
And it's really interesting to notice the contrast here between the macro and the micro. On one hand, you've got these shared ancient roots, the overarching traditional values, the foundational religion, and the ancient heritage that kind of unifies the whole nation. But on the other hand, you have incredibly unique local traditions, the way a regional festival is celebrated, or specific regional cooking styles, like slow cooking in a northern tandoor versus steaming techniques in the east. It shifts drastically from border to border. It's exactly this tension between shared ancient roots and highly localized expression that makes documenting this culture such a monumental task.
So how do they manage it? That brings us to categorizing the heritage.
Well, the ministry basically acts as a centralized, highly organized portal. Under digital media, they catalog everything from photos and videos to live webcasts of cultural events. Then, under historical archives, they preserve rare books, ancient manuscripts, and the amazing architectural history of forts. They're even comparing wildly varied regional musical instruments, which is super cool, like the deep rhythmic dole of the north against the intricate melodic veena of the south. And finally, they have special initiatives, like the Vedic Heritage Portal and a really fascinating program called Mera Gaon Meri Dharohar.
Let's actually look a bit closer at that specific initiative, because it is just brilliant. Mera Gaon Meri Dharohar essentially translates to My Village, My Heritage. It's a major initiative listed by the ministry that's designed to link citizens directly to the cultural identity embedded right within village life.
So instead of just focusing on grand palaces or massive national monuments, the government is focusing on the village as the core unit of culture. Because that is where those local stories, those unique regional cooking styles, and those town-specific traditions actually live and breathe. It is a true grassroots approach to cultural documentation.
And finally, our last section, preserving rare digital archives. To make all this last, the ministry undertakes a really crucial procedure to modernize heritage for posterity. Step 1 is identifying the fragile physical artifacts. We're talking ancient manuscripts and rare books that hold the secrets of those early civilizations. But, as we know, physical items degrade over time. So, step 2 is digitizing the heritage. They're painstakingly turning these physical artifacts into permanent, easily accessible digital formats like ebooks hosted on platforms like the eSanskriti portal. By taking a rare book and putting it on eSanskriti, they ensure that a student literally anywhere in the world 100 years from now can still access that exact piece of ancient knowledge.
Which leaves us with this final, kind of profound thought. We've seen the ancient roots, the vibrant local festivals, the incredible global impact, and this massive effort to digitize the whole shebang. So I have to ask you, how will digitizing these ancient manuscripts and timeless traditions shape the future of global culture? When the deepest roots of human history are just a click away for anyone on Earth, how is that going to influence the art, the literature, and the global cuisine of tomorrow? It is an absolutely incredible legacy being built right before our eyes. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep exploring those local stories, and I'll see you next time.